It is my brother's birthday, and I'm cooking up a very traditional Korean birthday breakfast. Red bean rice and seaweed soup. Okay, I know, doesn't look much, but this rice and soup is steeped in symbolism and goodwill. And besides, we Changs don't really like heavy breakfasts anyways. And speaking of breakfasts, the cooking actually begins the night before. We have two things to soak overnight. First, the red beans, or pat in Korean. For a small pot of rice, take a quarter cup of dried red mung beans and wash them well. Pour in a good glug of cold water and leave it to soak overnight. Now the seaweed for the seaweed soup, specifically sea mustard, or mi역 in Korean. And for two generous servings, again, only a quarter of a cup. Wash first before soaking. I know this is a tiny amount, but the seaweed will grow at least 10 times its size. Don't believe me? I'll show you. In the morning, this is what you get. Little sure goes a long way, doesn't it? Look how long this is. You could chop this up, but I'm using my kitchen shears for a quick trim. Each sliver of seaweed should be, no longer than your soup spoon, but not too thin to lose any texture. Now for the stock. You can use anchovy stock, clam stock, chicken stock, but this is a big day, so we're using a big old hunk of beef. Chuck, to be precise. Cut into small cubes, fat and all. The fat will melt into the soup and give it a velvety texture. Add in a tablespoon of sesame oil to your pot and brown your beef. Throw in a tablespoon of minced garlic and kill the heat. Well, we don't want to brown the garlic, we just want to take the raw edge off. Pour in 5 to 6 cups of hot water and your seaweed and bring the heat back on high. I'm also adding in a tablespoon of 국간장, or soy sauce for soups. This stuff is saltier than your regular soy sauce with a more earthy aroma, but any soy sauce will do. Just make sure not to add too much or it'll stain the soup brown. Lid on and keep it burbling for a good hour. And the soup's done when it's thick and velvety like that, and with green oil floating on top. Add in salt if it needs it, and keep it warm. Traditionally, this seafood soup is also served to new moms after childbirth, and having it today of all days is showing your appreciation for her giving birth to you. Back to the rice. Like the Caribbean's rice and peas, we're cooking the red beans together with the rice. The thing is though, red mung beans can have this bitter aftertaste, so when your bean comes up to a boil, throw away the water, that's the real bitter part. Wash and boil again in a second pot of clear water. Mine took about 15 minutes, and when you can crush the bean with your fingers, it's cooked. Don't throw away this red bean water though, because we're using this aquafaba to cook the rice. Wash your 2 cups of short grain rice and add in 2 cups of the red bean water. Yes, it'll stain the rice red, and yes, that's what we want. Oh, you can also sub in 1 cup of sticky rice or add in any other grains you like. Today I'm using a rice cooker, but you can simmer this on the stovetop too for about 20 minutes. When it's done, the rice will have this dark red ruby color, which is supposed to ward off any evil spirits on auspicious days, like birthdays. Now let's set the table. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, I lied, there is one more thing. Because nobody wants an iodine deficient birthday, get some more seaweed. Because with this and the rice, we can make poksam, or fortune packets in Korean, which you're supposed to eat in one bite. It's a metaphorical parcel of goodwill.
Hiya! Hiya!
Oh, and speaking of parcels of goodwill, I need to hide the PlayStation I got for him.